Welcome back to Planning and Finances. My name is Ellie, and this might be very much a surprise video for people that have been following me for a long time. We are currently moving, hopefully in 2 days time. So it has been a process. When we bought this house, we just bought. Now we were selling and we were buying. So I'm going to make this video about the selling process. So everything does run side by side, but there's different things on either side. So the main thing is selling your house. So what happened? So as you've seen in last week's video, I decorated this bedroom. And as I'd done it, this was around the time I was starting to think I wanted to move. I was looking at furniture for this room, and something was telling me I don't want to buy furniture and then I could end up in a different house and it doesn't really suit that room or what we want to do in that house. So this is why we haven't gotten wardrobes for this room or done anything like that. It ended up staying this way. So this is what happened. So we decorated this room, and I said to my husband, I want to move, and it took a lot for him to get on board. So what did we do to prepare? So we had already kind of started preparing the house for sale, or to get ready to be listed for sale, because we had decorated the attic. So it was nice and fresh and new, and we had decluttered everywhere. Same with our bedroom. We had just decorated it, and then we had completely decluttered as well. So I think in my mind, I always knew this was coming, because I had always said when I was decluttering, my thing was, if I was moving house, would I want to bring this with me? And if the answer was no, well then I was decluttering it. And that's how brutal I was with the decluttering. So that's what we did. I kind of just got everything set up. We painted the hall stairs and landing as well while we were doing the bedroom. It really needed it, and it didn't cost much. We actually got a really great price, and we did little kind of upgrades and refresh around the house that didn't cost a lot of money, but thought it would definitely get us more money when it came to selling the house. So definitely the insulation in all the rooms helped, because as we've been decorating and going around, we've insulated the rooms. We had gotten new windows just the other year, so there's definitely been a lot of improvements to the house that was definitely going to help us. So that's what we did. To get the house ready, I went around and I refreshed paintwork, all the doors and skirting boards. I decluttered the house. I took down all our personal items. Now I know you don't have to do that, but that's just my preference. And then I got some estate agents out. Now we hadn't got everything done before they came out, but I just wanted to see where we were priced in the market. I could see other houses up around our area, but our house is slightly different. So like my neighbours, and all my neighbours have like a 3-bedroom house, probably an extension on them. They might have an attic conversion, and they have an average size back garden. Our house has the attic converted, has the extension, it has downstairs toilet, utility room, so it kind of has all that. And then it also has a 2-bedroom cabin down the back, and it also has a workshop unit to the side of the house. And also on top of that, there was previous planning permission to knock the unit and the cabin down and build a 2-bedroom bungalow in our back garden. So there is a lot of different things to the house that I wasn't sure where it would price. So neither did the estate agents. They were like, it's above the area because it's very different to houses in the area. And they do get these houses in other areas as well, where there are houses at the end of the street that have land on them and things like that. But the prices ranged so much. So from the lowest to the highest, there was a difference of 125,000, what they would think we would get for it. That wasn't what they wanted to list it at, that's what they think we would get for it. Then there was also the difference in some estate agents wanting to price the house really low to get in loads of people and build up like bidding. And then there was ones that was like, look, we don't want to waste people's time, we don't want to waste your time, go in at a reasonable amount. How much do you want to get for your house? We'll go in slightly below that, and then hopefully we'll only get really interested parties in to see your house. So that was the one that I ended up going with. So we had 4 estate agents, and like that huge range, like 125,000 of a difference. So 3 of them were on par together and one was so lowballed, so we didn't go with that one. So after we spoke to the estate agents, then me and my husband sat down and talked, and we really said, okay, we're going to do this. We were looking at the prices in the area that we wanted to buy. So we were kind of looking at our figures and trying to do our homework and see how much did we need to get for our house to be able to buy in the area that we really wanted to move to. And the more we thought about it, we were like, if we didn't get the amount that we wanted, or that we needed, should I say, there was no point in us moving, because we absolutely love our home. We love our house, and I'm sure so many people say, if I could pick up my house and just plonk it in the area that I wanted, that would be amazing. So that's what we did. We got the house ready. I might have some little clips and pictures of things that we've done, and I'll slot them in here on top. So we cleared up the back garden and we got it all power washed. We would have done that for summer in anyway, but we got somebody out to do it, to get all the algae stains and all off the patio, to get really treated, so it looked really, really nice. We have a huge back garden, which is such a selling point, and we really wanted to show that off. We then painted the walls in the front garden, so me and the kids got out one weekend, and my niece was here as well, and I had my 2 kids, and the 3 of us got out and we were refreshing the white on the walls, and then we were weeding the garden and just touching it up and making the curb appeal as nice as we could. In my opinion, the what would be the downside of my house, kind of the one thing that wouldn't be the best, would be the front garden. It was something that we hadn't gotten around to do right now, but the rest of the house was good. Yeah, so that's what we did. I took down all personal belongings. I minimized the furniture that we had, I just made it look fresh, not too minimalist. I still wanted the home for when people walked in to feel welcomed and, cozy, and to be able to picture themselves here. And that was one thing with the bedroom. The estate agents walked into the back bedroom that we just decorated, the one I'm sitting in now, and they were like, wow, this is a big room for a bedroom. I wasn't expecting that in this house, because they've sold other houses in the area. And I said, this is great, because it kind of shows potential buyers what they can do with the rest of the house. And also taking out the wardrobes have made this room look so much bigger. In other houses in this area, some people take a little bit off this back bedroom to make the bathroom bigger, but my personal opinion, I don't need a huge bathroom. I'm getting in, I'm getting showering, and I'm getting out again. So yeah, so the next step then, after we'd done everything and got everything ready, was choosing our estate agent. So we had 2 that we were kind of going back and forward on, so we nailed it down and we picked one. We called them and we went through next steps with them. So next steps with them, the first one being is paying for your marketing. So this includes like the sign in your garden, being listed on My Home and Daft and some other property sites, your brochures that they do up at your house, and for the photographer to come out and to take the photographs. So that was stressful. Oh my God, when you clean your house, but getting your house kind of ready and staged in a sense for photographs. Oh my God, I took the day off work the day before. I got the house all ready. That was stressful, but pictures turned out brilliant. It was absolutely lovely. And then the next thing you need before it can go up online is you need to have a BER cert in Ireland. So I arranged that as well. So then the house went live. Talking about this is taking me back. The house went live. I was so nervous. It was so weird going onto My Home.ie and seeing my house there. Like, I'm so used to looking at all these houses in the area that I'm looking at and all, but to see your own home, it was so strange. It was quite emotional because, as I said, I love my house, but yeah. And so then we wait to hear if there's any much inquiries, and we literally had four interested parties. The estate agent was like, you know, wait and see, it might pick up a bit. So 4 people came to see the house on the first day. Or was it? No, there was 2 viewings, sorry. Some came on the Saturday and then some came during the week for an evening viewing. That was the hardest part, is keeping your house ready to be shown. You're like saying to the kids, pick that up, don't put that there. You're there getting your valuables, not in a way, but like I do cash envelopes and stuff, and I would have had like my work laptop and my laptop, and the kids have their tablets. I have my camera here. So there's certain things that you're like putting into a bag, taking it into the car with you, and it was a journey. So after 2 weeks, we still only had 4 showings. 3 of the people came back for a second time. There was no more interest in the house. I was like, we're not going anywhere. Like, I felt like my dreams were just being shattered. It was 2 weeks later, there was no offers. Like, the estate agent was like, you know, we'll give it another week, see what happens. We might take some more photographs, just let's see what happens. I'm like, okay. So then literally 2 days after that, I get a phone call and he goes, we've gotten an offer, but it's low. And I was like, okay. Now he knew how much I needed to move. And he goes, I was just about to call you. We got this offer this morning. It was really low. And I'm after getting a call from another one of the people that viewed it. And I've got another offer. It's slightly higher. So the estate agent that we were dealing with has like an online portal, but they come to you first to see if you want to accept the first bid. So the first bid that was really low, I said, no, I don't want to accept that and have people bidding. It could take a week to get up to where we want it to be or need it to be. So we'll wait. So he went back to them and said, no, we're looking for asking price. So then one of them came in with like 5k below asking, and I accepted that as the first bid. So that was like 2.5 weeks later from when it went live. So that went up, there was 1 bid. And then the other person bid. So we had bidder 1 and we had bidder 2. And then the third person came in and they bid as well. So in the end, we actually had the 3 people viewing the house. So just the 3 people that viewed bid. The other person, they were a nosy neighbour. In the end, they weren't actually interested in buying the house. So the 3 people were actually really interested. So I think we did right in going with placing the house for sale at just interested parties, rather than pricing it like 50 or 60k lower and having so many people. Like, I only did, I think 4 viewings altogether, which is amazing for selling your house. Some people can be doing like 2 and 3 viewings a week for weeks on end. So this was amazing. So the bidding started off slow, and then it went crazy. I was shocked because I was at the stage where I was starting to think I might not be able to move. And then it hit the figure that we needed to move. And then it went to our ideal amount. And then it went to our dream amount. And it went past that again. The bidding went on for 2.5 weeks on this portal. And I swear to God, you are addicted to your phone at this day. Your phone beeps, you're like jumping on it. Look, oh, look. Like, what bids come in, and it pops up and you can see there's bidder 1, there's bidder 2, and there's bidder 3. And I know who they are. I don't know who they are as people, but I know their situations. The estate agent kind of tells you this person's sale agreed, or this person's first time buyer, or this person, you know, is a cash buyer, or, you know, you kind of get an idea of who the people are. So it was so funny because the kids were so involved in it as well. They were like, Mommy, was that another offer, you know? And then we had where bidder 2 and bidder 3 were literally going €1,000, €1,000, €1,000, €1,000. And then we thought bidder 1 was gone. So like it just looked like these 2. And I was like, oh, bidder 1's gone. They haven't bid in like 6 days. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, bidder 1 would come in and they would actually jump it by like 5k. And I'd go to the kids, guess who's back? And they'd be like, Bitter Water's back. And it just became like a little thing with me and the kids. Like the kids loved it. They were so involved. And I don't think it's a bad thing to talk to kids about money. You know, they can see when they're looking on my home.ie, they can see the price of the houses. They could see what ours is listed for. So they know this. They can see it. My daughter is 12 and my other daughter is 9. So they're not very young. But so yeah, so that went on for 2.5 weeks, and we finally came to closing. We decided, okay, we're going to accept this bidder's offer. We were absolutely delighted. The person that bought our house was not in a chain. They had a house previously, but I believe they sold last year or something. I'm not too sure. But not being in a chain was good for us because we were buying on the other end, and the estate agents on both sides were kind of saying, ideally you don't your chain to get too long because it can be really, really difficult. The estate agent then called the last bidder and asked if they were going to accept the bid, and they had to put down their initial deposit. And kind of on the selling side of it, then that's kind of it for them. From then, the only other thing we had to do was the estate agent asked us for a contents list. We provided that. And then it was left with the solicitors. So when it came to then everything being with the solicitors, we had a big delay in the house that we were buying. There was issues with the house. I'll talk about that in another video. I'll go through our buying journey on the other side. And there was a big delay. So there was a delay in a good few weeks. So then on the other side, I thought the solicitor on the other side was happy with everything, happy with the searches, happy with the planning searches, because we'd made no additions to this house. There was no additions, no tear downs, no structural changes to the home. So we thought everything then would have been dealt with through the searches when we bought this house. But for some reason, right at the end, when I thought they would be signing contracts, their solicitor requested architectural certs and planning certs. And my heart just went, what? I was like, this is now probably going to be another 2 or 3 weeks delay. And I was on a time scale. I was on such a strict, like it had gotten so far down the road into the process with the solicitors that I was like, I was hoping would have moved 4 weeks beforehand, and now I'm getting an architectural request. I was like, oh. So I got an architect's number, rang the architect, came out, and he sorted everything out. That was brilliant. I spoke to the estate agent about this, and I was like, we haven't made any changes. Should that not have been covered with when I purchased my house? And the estate agent said to me, yes, technically it should be. That all depends on whether the solicitor you originally hired did a good job and done everything that they should have done. So this solicitor could have been looking over the work and wasn't happy with the results that my solicitor got and wanted more confirmation. So this then was a lovely added costs. So I will do like that another video on the costs, but be aware that this was a large cost at the end that we were just not expecting. So that got done. That got done. Our dates, I'll do the timeline actually. So I know I'm all over the place. I'm sorry. I'm right in the middle of this at the moment because we've just kind of drawn down today and we should be moving in 2 or 3 days. So I'm all in it at the moment. So sorry. So the timelines of the whole process. We listed our house for sale the 8th of May, or the 4th. The 4th, it was around the bank holiday weekend of May, we listed the house for sale. So, and then the viewing started the 11th of May. So we then went sale agreed on the 11th of June. So on the 11th of June, we went sale agreed and our buyer put down their first initial deposit. I think it's usually about €10,000. So that was their first deposit. So I think it depends on the price of the house, but I believe that's what was taken in anyway for our house. So that was done. That was all agreed. And like that, now you're just in the waiting period. And like that, I was thinking, oh, nothing much is going to come up, you know, going to be straightforward. I started packing boxes straight away. I was like, we'll be in by September. I had changed the girls' schools. The girls were going to be going to school in the new area. I had changed their schools. They were all ready. And I was getting everything organised to apply for my daughter's place in secondary school. So I was like, we need to move. We were also told that we needed to live in the area at the time of the school application for my daughter to be put into one of the top categories to get into the school. And it's so hard to get into schools nowadays because there's just so many kids and not as many places in schools. So we were under time pressure, but I was thinking 11th of June, and I'm thinking 3 months time maybe. I've got like July, August, September. I was like, even the end of August we could get in. Brilliant. No, I'm now sat here talking to you today, and it is the 21st of October. So yeah, always I think be patient and think that it can take a while. I think even if it had took longer, I wouldn't have minded so much and I wouldn't have been bothered so much, except for the time pressure that I had for applying for the school. I had asked the school in question if I could give them the solicitor's letter to say that we've bought the house and there's just a delay with moving in, but like it is our house. You know, the deposit has been taken, everything's gone through, and they were like, no, utility bill, and that's all we'll accept. So that has been testing, very, very testing. So it's now the 21st. We're hoping to move in on the 23rd, and the closing date for applications for the school is the 24th, the Friday. So it's cutting it fine. And I mean, we had to push at the end to get this date. And also the people moving in here, they really wanted to get in here by the end of November as well. I believe they're going away next month. So that's it. I don't know if that's, I must have sounded so stressed telling this story. I have no idea how it's going to come out. But if you have any questions on the selling of a home, the process, leave it in the comments below. I will definitely answer all questions, and I will also do a video around all of the costs that we've incurred with moving home, because there was definitely one or two that I wasn't expecting. And I look at personal finance, I budget, I look at everything that I think is going to pop up. I've watched so many videos on moving home, unexpected costs of moving home, and I thought I had it all covered. I did not, and it ended up costing a lot more than we expected. So with that, thank you if you've gotten to the end and listened to all my ramblings, and I look forward to seeing you, because we are going to do a moving vlog. I'm trying to figure out how I can do like the empty house tour and all that, because I want to have those memories for me as well. So if you're watching, if you're not subscribed, subscribe. We are going to do like a moving day vlog, and the house that we are buying is a full reno job. So I think we'll bring it along for that as well. So follow along, hit the subscribe button, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye.